Hello all, welcome to TechTrapture. So in our previous videos, we already seen what are the different storage services in Google Cloud. So we just had an overview of all the storage services in Google Cloud. Now we are just jumping into each of the services and we'll do a hands-on also on each of these storage services. So here first we're talking about the persistent disk. So what are the persistent disks in Google Cloud and where we should use the persistent disk, what are the different benefits of using persistent disk, and how we can do a hands-on on the persistent disk. That all we are going to see in this video. So let's first see what is a persistent disk. So persistent disks are block storage for your compute engine VMs. So let me give a simple example. Let's assume you are having one laptop, and your laptop, you always ask for how much size your hard disk is having. So suppose if you are having 500 GB, you will ask for 1 TB, and if your 1 TB of laptop, that hard disk is getting full, you will purchase one more hard disk, additional 500 GB. So similarly, these hard disks are nothing but the persistent disk for your Google Compute Engine or virtual machine. So in virtual machine, we call it as a persistent disk because it persists that data on the disk. Even if you terminate your VM instance, you will have a data on your disk. If you are deciding to delete your boot disk with your persistent disk, that is the different case. But if you are additionally attaching any disk, and even if you delete your VM instance, your data will be there on your persistent disk. Okay, so that is a persistent disk which can be used with a compute engine. By default, each of the compute engine, whenever we create a VM instance or compute engine, it will always comes with the OS image, and that OS is installed on the boot disk. So each VM is having at least one boot disk on which your VM is installed. When your apps require additional storage space, you can add one or more additional storage option to your instance. And first recommended storage option for your compute engine is your persistent disk. So you can just attach the additional persistent disks for your required size, and you can just use that storage along with your Google Compute Engine. So what are the key feature here? So it provide high performance reliability. So it provide the different types of disk, standard disk, SSDs, balanced disk, and you can also take a snapshot of the disk and just restore the snapshot whenever you want to restore. So these are kind of backup for your disk, and it can be used for databases, web servers, and application. So now, as I said, there are different types of disk. So let's see what are the different type of disk we are having. So you can see we are having zonal standard persistent disk, we are having a regional standard persistent disk, we are having zonal balance, regional balance, then the zonal SSD, we are having the regional SSD, a regional stream persistent disk which is for high performance. And for each of these disks you can see the minimum capacity, either you need 10 GB or you need a 200 GB for regional standard, or 10 GB for zonal persistent disk. A regional balance 10 GB minimum is required, and you are also having the maximum capacity per disk. So this is the comparison of the disk type if you are using the different disk type. Okay, and local SSD is kind of the attached to your hardware, and it can be used along with that instance only. So that's all about the persistent disk in a theoretical way. So not now we'll just go into Google Compute Engine, Google Cloud Console, and we'll create one a VM instance, and we'll create a new persistent disk and attach to that instance. So we'll just play around our persistent disk in a Google Compute Engine. So let me go to the Google Cloud Console now. Now I am on my Google Cloud Console home page. So I'll go to a compute engine here, and first I'll create a default Debian instance, and then I'll attach this. So as I said, every instance will come up with one boot disk. So if I try to create instance, so let me just give the name as a persistent disk demo. Okay, and if I scroll down, you can see this is 4 GB memory, 1 core, 2 CPU, and if you go for OS, so this Debian distribution is here, and this is attached to your boot disk. You can see the size 10 GB. So this is size of your boot disk. If you want to change the size of your boot disk or type of your boot disk, you can change. So currently you are having option balanced, SSD, standard, or extreme. and as you choose a different disk type, your pricing will change. So let me show you here. So currently your pricing is $25 per month. If I change from balance to SSD, okay, the price you can see 26. So if I choose from SSD to 16% disk, so you can see the minimum size is 500 GB. Okay, so here you need to choose minimum 500. I'll choose standard. Let me check the price. For the standard, again it just reduced. Okay, so the lower price is for standard, so I'll just keep the balanced one. Okay, I'll just select. Now price is 25. Now this is my boot disk with a 10 GB size, so that is mandatory along with your virtual machine. And now simply I'll just create my VM instance without doing any of the configuration. So definitely I'll be using the default instance here, and I'll just create my instance here. So as the instance is getting created, let me go to the disk and let me show you. We have one disk with this name. Let me go to disk. Okay, so as your instance is getting created, you will see the persistent disk PD demo, size is 10 GB. It is in US Central 1. So your disk and instance should be in the same zone in order to attach the disk to the instance, and this is used by PD demo. Okay, so there is no snapshot schedule. So what is snapshot schedule, that we discuss in our further videos. So this is the only disk currently we are having. So we'll create new disk also. So first let me log in into the instance once it is available. Okay, so let me just SSH into the instance. As we already seen, we have firewall open on port 22, so we'll not face any firewall issues. Just log in using this SSH feature into the instance, and then we'll see how we can attach additional data on our persistent disk. Okay, so we are into our server now, so let me just expand it. Okay, let me just try type ls block. Okay, and here you can see you are having this one disk of 10 GB size. So this is having size of 10 GB. And now let's go and try to create a new disk. So I'll go to disk here and I'll create a new disk. So I'll just give the name as my data disk. Okay, I'll keep the single zone. It should be in the same zone as your VM instance is. So our VM instance is in zone A, I believe. Let me go back and check. Okay, it is in zone A. So we have to create disk in zone A. Okay, so let me create disk in zone A. I'll just give the name data disk. Single zone, zone A. Now this should be a blank disk. There are different sources either from image snapshot, instance snapshot, archive snapshot. So I just want a blank disk. Size I just want 20 here, so we can distinguish between the two disks. Else you can keep minimum 10 as well. I'll choose this as a balanced. Okay, so I will not enable snapshot schedule. Okay, and I'll just create this disk. Now once I created this disk, I have to attach that to my VM instance. So by default it is not attached to any of the instances. Only boot disk is attached to our instance, and if I refresh, we'll see that here. Okay, now you can see this is my boot disk which is attached to PD demo, and this is new disk which is not attached to any of the instance. So I'll just click here and open this disk and attach this disk to the instance. So okay, either from attaching here, I'll just go to my VM instance and will attach from my VM instance. Okay, so I am in my PD demo VM instance. So here I have to click on edit, and then go down in the storage section. Okay, so here add new disk or attach existing disk. If you want to create, you can create from here as well, but we already created, so we'll attach existing disk. So it will give the list of existing disk. Currently we have only one data disk. We won't read write, and when we are deleting instance, we want to keep the disk, so it will not delete this. But if you want your disk needs to be deleted along with the instance, you can go ahead with this option, but I will choose keep disk. Okay, and I'll just save this. Okay, now this is showing attached, but we have to save it. Now once it is saved, you will see again in our file system. So let me go back here and let me do the available space here. So currently we are having available space. So this is our boot disk, 9.7 GB showing. Currently it is available 7.2 GB, only used 22%. Okay, so let's see if it can show our new disk. So still it is not showing because we only attached the disk and we have not mounted our disk. So you can see it is attached, but it's not mounted. Let's see if we can check in the ls glue. Okay, now you can see this is our boot disk available here, and this is our 20 GB new disk which is attached here. Okay, but it just attached, but we still not able to use it. We still not able to store any data because we have to mount it. So how to mount it? Just go back and check the documentation. Mount persistent volume disk to GCP, and it will take you to the documentation, and here you have to execute a set of command. You have to create a file system. Okay, so you can start from this because we already know the name of our file system. So I'll just copy this command. Okay, I'll just copy this command in notepad first. Okay, so file system type, so what should be the type of file system? So we have option ext2, ext3, ext4. So I'll use ext4. Okay, and device name we have sdb, where we can check that we already checked. Our device name is sdb. Okay, so just execute this first command now. Okay, so we executed first command, it created a file system. Now let's check. We have to create a directory now. So what I will do, I'll just create a directory, and I'll create directory called a data. Okay, we have created directory as well. Now we have to mount our disk to this directory. So let's go back again here. Okay, and device name is sdb, and directory we are having simply data. Okay, so let me execute this command now to mount our disk to the file system. Okay, so let's check now. So earlier it was not showing. You can see this output, it is only showing disk, but now it is showing mount points on slash data. And now if I do df-h as well, you can see dev sdb is showing here as slash data. In our earlier output it was not showing here. Now if I go to cd slash data, I can go here and store whatever data I need here. Okay, so that's how we can attach a new persistent disk to our VM instance. Now as I said, even if we delete this VM instance, the data will be persisted in my disk. So how we can check that? So what I will do, I'll just go and delete my persistent disk, not persistent disk, my VM instance. One more thing to show here, for your boot disk option is delete along with VM instance, but for your additional disk it will not delete along with your VM instance. So if I go to a persistent disk boot disk, okay, So it will delete along with your VM instance. So that setting is available in your VM instance. So let me show you that. So if you scroll down and go to a disk, so this is your boot disk PD demo, and here you can see the flag when deleting instance delete disk. So your boot disk will be deleted along with your instance, but what about your additional disk? So this is your additional disk, and here what is the flag when deleting instance keep disk. So when you delete the instance, only your data disk will be there and your boot disk will be deleted. Let's validate that. So I'll go ahead and I will delete my VM instance. I'll just simply go here and delete. Okay, now once it is deleted, I'll validate the disk as well. So it is deleting, so you can see your boot disk also getting deleted, but your data disk is still there. So if you can create new instance, you can just attach this disk and still access your data on this disk. That is why it is also called the persistent disk, because your data is persistent even after your life cycle of your VM instance. So let's wait for this to get deleted. Okay, now let me refresh. So it should be deleted. Yeah, so my boot disk is deleted, but my data disk is still there, and currently it is not used by any of the instance. So hope you understood now how to work with persistent disk, what is persistent disk, and how we can use persistent disk along with compute engine VM instance. So that's it for this video, and we'll see you again in a next video.